Hello everyone, and welcome to the 12th episode of OMGcraft. My name is Chad Johnson, and I am your very humble host. I'm so humble, even though I am the most awesome guy on the internet. This week, we have some news, and then we are going to go crazy with Let's Play and streaming tips, tricks, apps, programs, all the things that you need to know in order to start your own Let's Play series or stream your own game to the rest of the world. And then we are joined by Honey of the internet, of Twitch, of the RMCT tournaments, of HonneyPlays on YouTube. It's going to be really, really awesome, and I am really excited about this show. First off, let's get into some quick news. Well, 1.4.1.2.7 was released to the public last week, and all of that goodness fell on our heads, and we loved it. Well, this week we have 1.4.3 pre-release, and I swear that I got the numbers correct on that one. So this is a pre-release. There have been over 100 bug fixes said by the names of Mojang. They said that they have fixed over 100 bugs, and in fact, if you go to their awesome bug counter, which now actually works, and you can submit bugs and look at bugs and make sure that things are going fine, you know, however you want to do it, you can. And look at all these bugs that have been fixed. Look, let's just go into this weird one. Chest hitbox was wrong. It's been fixed. Death by bat, well, it's been fixed. I mean, look at all these bugs that have been fixed. It's also really cool now that this has been used for a little while. Let's go to Minecraft. You can see and track bugs that are annoying you. And my favorite part about this is there's this really cool graph. If the page loads, it's really cool. I swear, it's really cool if I could only click to see the graph. It looks like my page died. What's going on? Anyway, so now if you go and check out the bugs, now it worked. The second I moved away from it, check out this graph down here. It's like the red is the bugs that have been submitted, and the green is the ones that have been fixed. And it's like the Mojang team is like fighting the bugs. It's like, well, you got the space. It's an exponential growth. What are you gonna do, Mojang? You can also tell that on Fridays they don't get many bugs fixes done. In fact, both Fridays there was nothing done on either of them. So kind of nice to know that Fridays they just don't work. At least Fridays in America. I wonder if it's Saturday over there. I guess we should give them one day off. I mean, it's just my favorite game in the world that, you know, you're slacking on. I'm kidding. Very good. And the pre-release is out, and the actual 1.4.3 update will come in a few days on the 7th. So exactly a week from the day of recording this show. Now, not only did we get the pre-release to play around with before it gets updated to everyone, but we got Craft Bucket updated as well. So now Craft Bucket, which is actually the server API that I suggested that you use if you wanted to add plugins to your server, has been updated to 1.4.2 Rev 1. So they may actually do some bug fixes within the 1.4.2 release of Minecraft. So hopefully servers can start to get up to speed to 1.4.2. Now, personally, I have been in contact with the server admin for the Twit server. This is the studio that I'm using, is owned and maintained by Twit. And the Curly, who's been on the show many times, says that this is actually a pretty buggy release for him and our plugins. So if you are one of the many fantastic people that play on our server, which you can find at mc.twit.tv, you can be a little bit excited that that Craft Bucket has been updated, but it seems like with all of the things that we use on our server, everything might not be as super smooth as possible. I've been getting a few emails from folks wanting to know when our server here at Twit is going to be up to date. And keep that 1.3.2 jar around for a little bit longer, because we're not going to be able to update as fast as we'd like. So keep that one around for a little bit longer until we can really publish out an update. And if you really want to be the most informed user, head on over to Craft Bucket and you can stay up to date on their blogs. And so you can keep us in check and say, hey, well, that update came out, why aren't you updated? And then we'll give you some other excuse as to why we can't do it quite yet. Now, that's it for news. We're done. Now we're going to get into how you can record and stream your Minecraft game. And truly, all of these techniques work for other games as well. It's not just Minecraft exclusive, but we're going to show you all of that. Mac and PC both. We're going to start off with the PC, and we have around 3 applications each to show you, and I'm going to quickly run through them. First, let me start off with an application called Fraps. You can download it and find the links to download it in our show notes. Fraps.com is the place that you would go if you just wanted to, be a pro, type it into your URL, just all on your own. Without any help from me, just go ahead and do that. And if I go ahead and launch Fraps, you can see that there are a few options at the top. This is the free version that I have. What happens, the limitations with the free version are that it will only be able to record for around 30 seconds, and then it's just going to kind of cut you off. So you can see that you get a few options just right here in the general, like start Fraps minimized. You can get rid of the arrow Windows mode, which is this nice transparent thing that Windows 7 does. Let me go into the FPS. This gives you a few options to place your FPS counter on your game. And let's just say, let me actually go ahead and open up Minecraft so you can kind of see what this looks like. And that'll just open up in the background here and log in. And I may actually have to, I'm going to go, oh, no, there you go. So you can see this FPS counter over here in the corner, this yellow one. And if I decide, I really want that over here on the right-hand side or down in the bottom because I don't want it to really be used. And then there's even a hotkey to disable it. So if you were over in your Minecraft game and you hit F12, there it disappears. And if I hit it again, it should come back. There we are. Now it's back. And so if you wanted to, say, quickly check what your frames per second were, you can jump right into that. You also have a benchmarking hotkey and some options for that. Next is the Movies tab. This shows where are your movies going to be saved. You have a hotkey to start and stop movies, the frames per second that you record at, and then you have some audio options, which are really great. You can record your system settings, and then you can also add in another mic. So if I really wanted to add my mic, which is actually this Livewire 1 audio driver, heck yeah, that's what I want to do. You can even pause. You can also only capture that driver, that that microphone while pushing. So there's a push to talk function in this. And then you can also take screenshots while you're in the middle of recordings. And this works really, really well. My short review of using it rather quickly was that it captured everything that I wanted to capture, system audio, everything like that. I was hit, obviously, by the 30-second limitation. If you want to buy this for yourself, it costs $37. And you just buy that through PayPal, and it seems really nice. It seems like a really simple and elegant solution for recording your games. Some things that this doesn't do is it does not broadcast, and it won't be like, say, you couldn't pump this into Skype or something to show your friends. This is just for recording movie files. The other thing is a 30-second video on a really high-resolution monitor. This was a 25 by 60 by 1440 monitor at full screen. The 30-second video was, I believe, around 800 megabytes. So almost a gigabyte. You can, of course, make that smaller by scaling your window down. But just wanted to point out that it seems to capture an awful lot of information. So that was Fraps. Now let me move on into DXtory. DXtory is sort of exiting. Yes, I'm sure that I want to exit Fraps. DXtory is similar to Fraps, except that it gives you a ton of options. So if really getting down and knowing exactly what codec that you want to record in, or knowing exactly how many threads you want a core to your computer to compress at, that sort of thing is what DXtory is really, really good at. So let me go ahead and zoom out and show you guys that. Here's what it looks like. You can see just some of the options right here at the top. Let me jump into, this is where you would save your recordings. So let's just say I do it into, I just throw it in my downloads. Okay, why not? And then you have some key bindings. So start and stop your capture. I have it set to F12. You can also do a screenshot with F11, but you have lots and lots of overlays like your position and things like that. Now, here's what I mean when we're getting into codecs. If you look at the codecs that you're allowed, I have a few codecs installed on this computer. This was more than what was on my Macintosh, and so I have like these Blackmagic codecs that came with something else that we installed on the computer. I have which you will probably not see. You have these Intel IYUV codecs. We have some Microsoft video codecs. This is an Xvid MPEG-4 codec, and if you know exactly what codec that you want, you're gonna have to install it yourself. There are a few really good tutorials online on how to really get deep into that. I'm not going to cover that here. You can even set like keyframe integers, and like keyframes are how many times that the codec is going to sample the base version of the video, and then it will sort of interpolate the rest of the video between codecs on how much has changed. That's why sometimes if you skip to the middle of a video in like VLC, it'll be all weird until it hits a keyframe, and then everything will be fine. You can do lots of things like margins and clipping, and I mean, this is all just in the video section. Same thing with the audio section. Right now we have it on PCM at 48,000 hertz and 16-bit stereo. You can go crazy with that over here in the processor area. You know, one of the first things you want to do is set your processor to the amount, truly the max amount of cores that your processor can handle. If you're on a hyper-threading processor, you could set that to double of however many processors are in the machine, things like that. So this, while I actually was not, I went through, I read tutorials. It seemed like this, for me, was a little bit over my head. In fact, and on top of that, it cost $45 US. You have to buy it in yen, but it cost $45 US. So for me, it looked like Fraps was the option out of those two that I would be using. But if you are a pro user, you know exactly what you want or what you need, this will give you that function, that minute functionality that you require to record your videos. The other thing to mention is that this program can stream using Flash Media Encoder. It will not be able to stream sort of natively. There isn't an option for it to know a Justin TV account or anything like that and stream directly to it. And that is Dxtory. Links for this are in the show notes. I'm going to stop saying that now. If you want to find links to any of the things that I'm going to mention, the next 4 of them, find them in the show notes. I'm going to stop saying that now. Next is XSplit. And I am a huge fan of XSplit. Let me find it. There we are. XSplit Broadcaster. Now, XSplit Broadcaster is sort of like a general purpose streamer and recorder. It's also, you can see here, I'm going to sign in. What you do with XSplit is when you buy it, you're buying a month-to-month subscription. And so I am spending about $5 US a month, and there are different options for what you want. So there's 3 different, I believe it's 3 different options. I could be incorrect on that. So XSplit gives you, and it's also moved me out of aero mode, so just to make things faster and more responsive. So here we are. The thing with XSplit is that it allows you to set up scenes within your game, and it will also allow you to pull videos straight out of the game. And I believe that Dxtory allows you to do that as well. So let me click Add. I'm going to add a game. I'm going to choose Minecraft, and then you can see it kind of pop into my scene area right here. If I click and drag, I can resize the game, and if I right-click, I am given more options. So if I wanted to make the position something exact, like make the width smaller and then move it over to exactly so many pixels, and then move it up so many pixels, but the height is thing, you know, you can do that. Or you can just say all the pixels that there ever were, I want it to be up at the top. You also get some basic 3D stuff, so I could make it, you know, turn or tilt. This works really good if, say, I was going to use a webcam or something like that. So let's see if, I wonder if I can add, I doubt that this will work. Add camera, decklink video capture. I highly doubt that this will work. Oh, wow, it is working. So this is wow, I'm actually really surprised that there's some crazy codecs going on here. So this is actually pulling in the live broadcast of what I'm doing, which you can kind of see. We go into infinity back there, especially if I made it full screen. It starts to get a little bit like Inception. It's a game within a game, and then I can just like turn this off if that's not what I want. And so with XSplit, you can set up various scenes and then transition between them. So if over here I added, let's add a media file. I'm going to go ahead and jump onto the desktop and choose my OMGcraft logo. Open that up. There it is. I'm going to make that full screen. Then I'm going to add the game that I want, which is Minecraft. Let's move it right here and then make it bigger. Here we go. And then say I had a webcam or something like that. I'm just going to say choose screen region, and then I'm going to just kind of go burp, and then we're just going to say that that picture of me is my screen region. And so just imagine that was actually me, right? So that's my webcam. I'm going to put it up there. And so by layering these bits of data, you can create something really, really nice. Or you could have, say, one of the scenes just being a looping video. So if you were a streamer and you needed to cut away from stuff, or like you were going to the bathroom, you could have a looping logo that says "Going to the bathroom," whatever the heck you want. And then I can switch between these scenes just like this. It is a very elegant tool, and then your broadcasting options tend to be really, really nice. So if I go into general settings, there are a lot. Actually, I'm going to cut away for just a second. I wonder if it keeps. Yes. So it keeps it because there's a login and a user account associated with your XSplit thing. It actually keeps the. So if I wanted to start streaming right now to a test machine or to my normal machine, I could, because it actually saved that user data, which is actually really cool. I didn't even know that it did that. And then you can also choose different resolutions. It looks like I've set mine at 720 for HD, and then some lower resolutions if it needs to fall back on that. There are some nice hotkeys to allow me to switch between scenes. And then I was really afraid that I had just given away some information, but it's my birthday and it's all added wrong. The other cool stuff that you can do with XSplit is it will pump into Skype, and you can do some Skype pulling of like either video or pump it out. You can record locally, and I believe there are some audio options where you can get either your speaker audio or the whole system audio through XSplit. Out of the 3 programs, I would say XSplit is probably the largest general purpose, really, really good streamer and recorder for the PC. Now, let's head on over to the Macintosh side. So if you're not a PC user and you're like, come on, I need something, let's go on head over to the Macintosh. We haven't let you down. The first thing that I'd want to point out is just plain old QuickTime. If you have QuickTime, I believe it's X, which is on the newer versions of the Macintosh operating system, you can just launch Minecraft, go on over to QuickTime, then click File, New, Screen Recording. A little dialog option will pop up, and you can select your microphone. So let's just say my built-in microphone. And you should be able... Test. Oh, I said line in. Where's my microphone? There we are. You should be able to see these levels right here. Right, there you are. And there are some limitations with QuickTime. One, here, let me just show you. You'd click record, and either if you can click the button again and it'll get all of your screen, or say you wanted to keep your game really small, you can just get the area, and then you get this nice little start recording. So let me go ahead and start. It keeps the rest of the screen grayed out, so that you can tell where your recording is. And then if we log in, and let's just start playing Minecraft, you can do it that way. Some of the things that are a little bit limited on this type of recording setup is that it is not grabbing the in-game audio. This is only grabbing my internal microphone. You can use a program like Soundflower to merge the two, and then there's other ways of creating aggregate devices within your audio setup. So that's one way to do it. And then to stop, you can either reach over and hit stop, or if you're doing a full screen recording, it will give you a command. I believe it's like Control Command Shift 3. I'm unsure. But there you can see it's okay quality. Then when you can either hit save, and then you have a few export options. So that's built right on into Mac OS 10, which is kind of nice. Next, I'm going to get into ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is really a nice program, and I'll get to the downsides in a little bit. When you start off, you can see that you can either record your audio right here, and then also your built-in computer audio, which is nice, which is something that QuickTime didn't do. And then it's going to record all of your screen. I can even add another source like my HD monitor, my HD webcam right here. It's kind of free. It's kind of weird. You can see that there over there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and keep this on just to show you what it's going to do with it after you're done recording. So let's go ahead and click record. It's gonna prepare to record. I'm gonna hit Shift Command 2 when I'm done. And now this is recording all of my screen. So probably what I want to do is make this a full screen. Back to the game. Make this a full screen by hitting F11. Oh, that's the incorrect thing. That's not what I wanted to do. Come back. F11. What is it? F12? No. Alt. There we go. I had to hold down Alt. So now this is recording the whole screen. And we'll run around, we'll jump on stuff. This is nice. I'm gonna, oh my God, I love this. This is my favorite crafting table ever. I'm also gonna give me, I don't know, give me some of this, and I'm gonna, yeah, this is silly. Okay, so once we're done with this, let me exit out of full screen mode by hitting that. Then you're going to end your recording by hitting the Apple Shift and 2. And boop. And then it gives you sort of its own video editor. It says, oh, hello, thank you. Yes, I opened this on a different user. And so down here at the bottom, you can see that there are different audio levels for the different things. So right here. Oh, that's the incorrect thing. Right, so I could say mute myself there, or bring up game audio level later. I'm actually just gonna, and then with the video that it recorded from my webcam, this isn't baked into the video, so I could move it up here. I could decide to cut it and bring it in later. I could decide that, you know what, I am in love. I'm in love with Drop Shadow. In fact, it needs to be really big and really dark and just, I mean, just out there. Like, Drop Shadow is my favorite thing. You can also do things like zoom into specific regions at specific times. So if I wanted to, where is that? I haven't actually edited video on this one yet, but where is it? I forget where that was. I forget. You can do things like add annotations. You can zoom into specific areas in post. You can do quite a lot with ScreenFlow. This is the program that I'm currently using to record my Let's Plays, the ones that I've never packaged and actually posted anywhere. And the file sizes are about normal for a full screen recording. The downside of ScreenFlow, I would say ScreenFlow is one of the best things that you can possibly use. The downside is that it is $99, $100. You can either find it in the Mac App Store for $99.99, or if you want to save 99 cents, you can go to ScreenFlow, I believe screenflow.com. Maybe it's done by Telestream, so maybe it's telestream.com/ScreenFlow. Google it. Or, who knows? I said I wasn't going to say that again, but I lied. And so that's one of the biggest problems that I have with ScreenFlow. The other thing, it does not stream, it only records, but in my mind, it does that in probably the best possible way, with allowing you to really annotate, zoom in, zoom out, being able to record your video but not have it burned into the recording. Really, really nice. Okay, next and finally, and no, I don't want to save that amazing masterpiece. Let's get into Cam Twist, and I'm going, and this is sort of your streaming solution if you are on the Mac without spending like $500. So Cam Twist has sort of two modes. One is this sort of like I can choose my webcam, and if I hit Apple P, I get a sort of a preview of what it is going to output. Meow, meow, meow. And so then I can add things like, oh man, I really want city lights. Yeah, that looks really cool. Or how about color invert? And then let's turn off city lights because that's just craziness. One of my favorites is X-ray. Yeah. The other favorite is, let's say, cube. There we go. That's right. Living in a cube, in a Minecraft world. What are you going to do? You're going to live inside a cube. So this is sort of what XSplit has been, I don't know why I'm looking over here because the camera's right here. This is sort of what XSplit's been known to do. Now, XSplit has sort of a new feature in it, and within this, you can do something like Desktop Plus. Desktop Plus allows you to do things like select a specific window. So here I am. Let me go ahead and select Minecraft. And if I go directly to that, then it's only going to show Minecraft no matter where it is on screen. It will show only Minecraft, which is kind of cool. If I had it, like, say, over something else and you know, done, and back to game. And you can see that this works by, you know, just grabbing just that area. And that is really what I would suggest that you use Cam Twist for. It also has this new feature called, oh, where is it? There we are, Studio. In Studio, you get a different interface, and you can add buttons. So this first button is just Desktop Plus with Minecraft, and I can cut or dissolve, transition between them. In this next button, I added a effect. So, and there we are. So click them both. It should be working. Well, the effect was X-ray, and it should. No, it's not gonna do that. Well, why is it not doing that? Well, so you can sort of layer options. You can bring things on and off. New button. And so you hit new button to create something. Let's say an element. Let's do bubbles, and add that to that one. And then we can even rename it. So let's rename it to be bubbles. Yeah. And then let's get rid of that. And then if I wanted to, on top of my there, let's go into the game, and then let's also add bubbles to the game by dissolving, and now you can see that there are bubbles on top of what I had before. This is called Cam Twist Studio. It's sort of a newer feature. Now, the way that you can record, and you can, no, I don't believe you can record. You can stream using Cam Twist, and this won't be this won't be as detailed as XSplit because it's just sort of looking at the screen. XSplit seems to be pulling it in, sort of side pulling it in before it actually refreshes on your screen. And the way to stream with Cam Twist is to use the Flash Media Encoder from Adobe, and then you can send that directly to Justin or Twitch. And the other thing that Cam Twist does is it shows up as a webcam. So if you wanted to use it with Skype, or if you wanted to use Cam Twist with Justin TV using just their web page layout, you can do that as well. And that is it for my program recommendations. So next, I am really, really, really excited. I have an interview with one of the most prolific Let's Players and streamers on the internet. This is Honey. Say hello, Honey.
Hello, Honey.
Very good. I wanted to get your expertise on this subject because I do a fun little Minecraft show, but I actually don't do Let's Plays. I don't do streams yet. And so I wanted to make sure that you agreed with me, that you sort of decreed, yes, this is all okay and good. And going back through it real quick, for PC, we had Fraps and Dextery and XSplit. And then on the Mac, it was just good old QuickTime. We also used ScreenFlow and Cam Twist. And I know just from our Skype conversations that you are a PC user. So
yeah, I'm a PC girl.
Right. So you lean more towards that.
Yeah, and I do use Fraps and I use XSplit.
Good. And when you're doing your streams, is it mostly XSplit?
Yeah, it's absolutely XSplit. If there's something that's really important that is like a monumental match, like the Seth Bling and Etho match, that's going to be really good. I will record and frats at the same time to get a better quality video. But otherwise, if it's something I want, I'll just download my stream recording, the archived video, and then convert it and drop it into my editor and take care of it from there.
Right, right. And that's awesome. And let me show off a little bit of your Let's Plays. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like any particular video you'd like me to show off? We have a whole bunch of series here.
There are a bunch of series there. I actually do mostly Minecraft, but I do other things as well. One of my favorite series was just Batman, because I'm such a Batman geek.
Oh,
and
so cool.
As we did Batman, I was just completely nerding out over, oh, yes, yes. And did you know that Batman did originally shoot people? It wasn't until he joined up with Superman that they thought he shouldn't shoot people, and, you know, all those things. So I just had fun with it. Of course, I did run around screaming, I am Batman, for almost every episode, too. So,
oh, man.
It's fun.
Oh, so good. I just imagined the Batman trivia during...
Yeah, there was a lot of Batman trivia, and I went for like 100%. I did everything I could besides that was actual story mode. So it was really, really cool. And I just have fun with it. Whatever I do, if I don't think I'm going to enjoy the game or I'm not going to have fun with it, but I don't think you'll have fun with it, so I won't do it. I might still play the game, but I may not stream it or record it.
Right, right. Have fun with it is definitely a really good tip. And
Yeah.
how did you get started in Let's Plays? Was this something you saw before and wanted to do, or just kind of fell into it?
Well, I actually was a longtime fan of Let's Plays. I just loved watching Let's Plays. I had to have my daily dose of I watched Etho, you know, Doc M, and then for regular regular Let's Plays like adventure maps or adventure games, not adventure maps, I watched AtKit 2, and I just really loved his style. He made me laugh all the time. He's the top one on my recommendation there, and I just loved his style, and I love the fact that he featured the games and he did stuff. And yeah, I did, you know, Siberia. Those are those kind of adventure games that people don't see as much. But back in the day, this was such an amazing game, and I thought it still needed, you know, it still needed some love, and you could go through and have a lot of fun and maybe let somebody see a genre that they never knew existed.
That's really cool. It's like your imagination is the limit when it comes to this, and it makes me my favorite game, which no one else loved, and in fact people actively hated, was Ultima 9 Ascension. And through learning everything that I've learned to create this episode and talking to you, I kind of want to go back and play that game and experience it through.
I love the Ultima series.
It was
great.
And well, yeah, and then just to geek out, it's like I started with Ultima 9, and then I went back and played the other ones. It was like, wow, this is different. And that was like in the early days of the internet, so I went on to forums.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, I can't believe Ultima 9 is different. Oh, anyway.
Well, Richard Garrett was always kind of trying to push it, but he tried to balance. I really think he did a good job of balancing this is Ultima feel and tenor and flavor, but we're going to still mix it up and do new things. So that was cool. But for me, it's kind of twofold. I loved watching the LPs, and at the same time, I loved playing games with my family. And I would, you know, we'd laugh and we'd tease each other. And I realized that there really wasn't a lot of Let's Players that my kids could sit down and watch, either because they were just ridiculous, screaming and obscenities, and, you know, or there just weren't any girls. And I have a lot of girls. And so I wanted them to be able to say, oh, hey, you can be a girl, you can be a gamer, and you don't have to be ashamed of saying you're a gamer. There's sort of a perception that girls don't play games, and that's just not true.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And in fact, I was listening to another interview you just did. I forget.
Oh.
Where was it? Help me remember.
Mr. One Wolf.
Yes,
Mr. One
yes,
Wolf.
yes. And you had mentioned that in the beginning you felt pressured into almost saying that you weren't a girl gamer. And
yeah, there's sort of an embarrassment to it. And when I first started recording, I actually I was so overly conscious of the fact that I sounded like a girl and that I would giggle that I tried really hard not to laugh. And I tried really hard to be really serious and, just the facts, ma'am. And I was very, very monotone. And it was horrible.
Yeah.
And my family watched it. I had 0 subscribers. There were like 8 episodes. And they very gently said, you did good, Mom, but it wasn't exactly you.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't very fun, and we don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah.
So I kind of deleted all 8 of those and went, fine, we're just going to get over ourselves and the mic and what I sound like and just be me and have fun. And
Those
I think
are
that's really
the
important.
lost honey tapes in my mind. There will always be these
there
lost.
Will be. I have some of, I kind of clipped out and kept some of the ridiculous death moments where I actually reacted and caving squeals, and I thought, well, maybe for a special one day I'll pull out the a clip show or something of the lost tapes and see.
That's so awesome. So are there any tips? It sounds like a good tip, and I just say this just based off my knowledge is always be yourself, and that seems like something that you're sort of getting at with when I tried to be monotone, when I tried to be something else, it just didn't work out. Any other tips, or do you agree or disagree?
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. I think one of the most important things, there's kind of 2 sides of the coin. One, you have to know your equipment and your software. You have to be sure you test that and you know what you're doing so that you don't have mic failures and stuff like that. When you first set up a show, you've got your testing and you adjust your gain and you make sure things aren't, but you kind of have to do that too when you Let's Play. Make sure that people aren't hearing deep breathing when you're not talking, and make sure that you have editing software and you kind of know what to do with it. And then at the same time, you have to find your voice or your style. If you are the quiet Redstone guy, then be the quiet Redstone guy. If you are you're really excited about the adventure maps, then go out there and adventure it up, but have fun. Whatever it is, have fun. Whether you love Yogscast or you hate Yogscast, they are themselves. Right. And they are consistently who they are. And I think that's just super, super important.
Great.
That you can do that.
And then so that's what you suggest. And is there anything that you found that was hard for you to overcome, or something that you didn't expect to be quite so difficult?
Well, honestly, being able, a lot of people say walking and talking and recording is hard. That's not hard for me. I do everything live. I just talk, and if I screw up, I say, sorry, I just totally said that wrong, or that thing scared me, and just kind of run with it. But initially in the beginning, it was just getting over the fact that I was going to record it and somebody was going to hear it elsewhere and maybe judge me. Now it's just sort of like, can you shut this woman up? because you just kind of go out there. I think editing is often something hard for people because it is it can be a challenge to do that and to listen. Editing for me is a challenge, one, because you want it to look good, you want the product to be nice and be consistent, but 2, you have to hear yourself and some of the things that you said and you did, and that's sort of a surreal concept to sit there and go, oh man, that's what she said. Did I really phrase it that way? But at the time, when you're in the moment, you don't think about it. So editing can be a challenge for a lot of people, just because it's different and because you're hearing yourself. When I think people are their own worst critics a lot of the time. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many OMGcrafts I went through, and I was editing, adding lower thirds, and just like, I can't believe I said that. It's like, do I even know English? Is English my first language, or is it my second? I'm not incredibly sure.
That is a quote. I use that all the time. You mentioned my streaming. Detroit and I and Dyer all stream RMCT3, and so often you get tongue-tied because you're in the moment, you're trying to catch everything, and we had a new record time at one point, and I said, yes, new fast, and that's all that came out. We're like, right, new fast, excellent English, and you just kind of laugh with it, and and correct yourself and realize, yeah, that was stupid, but I was so excited. What do you want from me? So yeah, you just kind of roll with it. I think it's also really important that you can take constructive criticism. A lot of times I would have a sub send me a message and say, oh, hey, I saw this. You might want to think about doing this. That was a little bit too fast on your fast forward cut. It kind of was hard for me to watch, or your scroll by was too fast. And that's really helpful, and that's great. At the same time, there's a lot of internet comments that are just, pure hate, and you have to take those with a grain of salt too. So
Absolutely.
It's just kind of, you learn a lot about people and yourself when you do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, are there? This has all been really, really great. Is there anything that you could leave someone who really wants to get started, who really is sort of looking at all of this from a distance and says, "This is really neat," but if I could just get like a single tip, like one big knock it out of the park sort of thing. Do you have something like that for those people?
I think you have to, like anything, you have to know your craft. You have to study it. If you like somebody that you Let's Play and you like their style, see what it is that you like about them and really be able to self-evaluate yourself. If you are not the life of the party, don't try to dye your hair red and stand out there and be the life of the show. Be who you are and figure out who you are. If you if you didn't have the personality you did, you couldn't do what you do. So,
Absolutely.
but at the same time, Etho didn't have his personality, he wouldn't be able to do what he does so well, or co-star, or anybody like that. So I think you really have to kind of take a moment and evaluate yourself and evaluate what it is you want to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us and imparting your wisdom onto me and our viewers. And where can people find some of the things that you do on the internet?
Oh, I do lots and lots of things.
You do?
I guess the YouTube channel, of course, is HonneyPlays. Just the YouTube, and HonneyPlays with 2 N's and an S. The Twitch is HonneyPlay with no S. And I used to stream almost every day, but life's gotten really, really hectic right now. So I'm mostly just streaming ultra hardcores and RMCTs. But those are 2 places you can find me. I try to talk to everybody. So
yeah, and you are a busy person.
Yeah, I kind of am. You actually highlighted the MLM page in last week's episode, and I thought that was so awesome because I'm really involved with that too. That's been an almost a year-long project. And T2, you mentioned him. He's been a big part of that. So, I'm part of that. Just put out a news on that on the tournament today. So, it's just there's a lot of things. And if people wanted to reach me, you can always reach me on Twitter or on the YouTube messages or any of that stuff. I have fun doing what I do, and I love talking to people. It's been one of the great little bonuses to get to make friends with people in Australia and Sweden and Denmark and,
Teacher's from Estonia.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. He rocks the Casbah, man.
Yeah, he is the best. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining OMGcraft once again, and we'll see you around on the internet.
Absolutely. It's been fun.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So that is it for the show. I want to give a big thanks to T2, who we already talked about on the show, and Cheeto for helping me out with all the program recommendations. I tend to be really busy, and they really helped me out with suggestions and demonstration and giving me some other tips to tell you guys about. If you would like to send suggestions to the show, go ahead and send them my way. Mail at omgcraft.com. A last plug for the show notes. Go to omgcraft.com/12, as this is episode 12, and the show notes to all of the programs that I talked about and some links to go see Honey's stuff on the internet is available for you. Finally, if you go to omgcraft.com, you can follow us on Twitter, Google+. Check out the Reddit. People post stuff in there almost never. It's really great. And that is it for the show. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and we will see you on another episode of OMG Craft. What? Holy crap. Whoa. Oh, what the heck is going on? T2, did you code this? Seriously, what?